All right, so I have my video footage here and it is all set up in Animate. It's on its own layer, which I'm going to label. I'm going to double click on that where it says layer 1. I'm going to call this video, just so I know I don't get things mixed up. Another thing I want to do is when I use my selection tool here and I select my video and I go to where it says properties and click on object, I'm going to call this video as well. And just leave it at that. Now, what's going to make this easier is that I don't want to animate on this video layer. But what I want to do is actually make this layer a little bit transparent. It's going to make things a little bit easier. I can see my lines better for drawing on top of and animating my footage here. It's not the most exciting background, but it doesn't matter with Rotoscope because I can make it whatever I want. For right now, I'm just interested in the action and the subject. So I want to, I'm going to right click on this layer on the name. I'm going to go to properties and I want to change the opacity right here. And I'm going to change the opacity to something, let's try like 75%. I can double click on it and actually change it 75 and say okay. So now it has this kind of frosted look to it, and that's what I want. I'm going to lock this layer here now, and I'm going to create a new layer, which is this button, and this is going to be my line art. So I'm going to put line art right there, and I'm ready to start animating. I've got a pen tablet here, and I'm ready to start using some different brushes. I'm going to use this brush right here. I want to make sure that it's set as a fill, and I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to do Control plus, use my hand tool, which is spacebar, and move around to the parts of my footage that I want to begin tracing. My brush is set up right here. I've got it set to black, which is fine, and it's at 100%. And I'm going to begin making some line arts and movement here. My smoothing is set to 100, which is good. That way, if you make like jagged lines, it's going to auto smooth it for you. If you don't like that, you can set it to 0 and it'll have like all the imperfections and things that you have in your artwork. Different styles for different people. Use it how you want. The size is right here, which is great. As I change it, I can see about how big the pen is going to be in the preview in the middle of my screen. Kind of like that, because now as I start to create my movements or create my line art, I'm going to start creating it on each frame. So right now I'm set on frame 1, and then once I start creating some artwork here, it starts to show up. And so as I begin to trace around my body here, and you can make this as accurate to the actual video as you want. I'm just going to go around and start looking at the body part and go back and make some changes later if I need to. But I'm going to go through and get at least just the sweater and something like that. Okay. It's kind of open right here. Oops. And just like that. Okay, so it's not the most perfect thing, but it's good for this example. What I want to do is go on to the next frame. Since I already have it set up to 12 frames per second, there's no need for me to animate by 2s or 1s or whatever. I'm going to have 60 frames of animation. If you want to, you can go first to like major motions and major movements. So once I advance to my next frame, you see that your original artwork is still there. And you have different types of keyframes that you can create. So I'm going to advance to my next frame here, and I'm going to hit, you can go right here and you can see where you have a blank keyframe, a frame, or a regular keyframe. And if I go to add just a regular keyframe, you see it keeps my original art there. I don't want that. I want to create a blank keyframe. So if I click here and go to blank keyframe, oops, let me go back to the original frame here, original frame, and I click on this one, insert blank keyframe. Now it took out my artwork, and I'm ready to animate my new artwork on top. Another way to do that is right here. You can right click on that frame and you can go to insert blank keyframe right here. That's another option. Or F7 on your keyboard will get you the same thing. And so if you're a keyboard person, if I'm done creating my artwork on this frame, I'm ready to move on to my next frame, F7, and I'm ready to keep animating. And so I would start conquering maybe the line art, come up with the next movements and motions that you want to create, going down your timeline, getting things looking the way you want them. I might go back and edit a lot of this and make it look a little different from what the actual video footage is, but kind of get an idea of how this is going to look. As I go back here to here, if I want to preview it without the video footage, I can click right here and turn that off and see my line art as it starts to develop throughout the frames. So these are basic steps. What I would do is create line art layer, and then we can go back and add in color and so on different layers, or even coloring it within the same layer that you have your line art. So have some fun with this. Go down the line and make sure to always save your work frequently, because who knows what happens with these computers. Good luck to you, and we'll see you next time.